Hey everybody, it's Scott back for episode 12 of my Thaumcraft 1 Let's Play. Once again, between episodes, guys, I have done tons of stuff. I got really cool stuff to show you guys. Basically, I'm working on the base some more, and look at that, guys. The house in the tree house is done. I went ahead and finished up my fences and did a little bit of landscaping along here, so now I have this kind of Stonehenge type rough cobbled fence with the magic slabs. The magic slabs are awesome, guys. I have a couple little gardens along here, but look at this. This is mainly with the magic slabs, and it's exactly what I imagined here. All right, so looking at it in detail, you can see it has a nice framed front here, glowstone along it, you know, lighting it up, and using ladders and accents. This is actually a crate. It opens from the more storage mod. These are shelves, the wooden shelves, which look kind of cool, give it a different look. I definitely wanted it not to be flat, to have a nice 3D feel, and boy do the magic slabs do that. Like, look at some of the beveling and stuff along here, guys. Looks really cool. The birch wood, this is regular oak wood ones, and these are actually magic slab windows and accents along here. So it just looks super cool. And so we have this, you know, front protruding part and a little flat part that's got some kind of wear and stuff in it, little peepholes for light and all that kind of stuff. Rough cobblestone feel, and then an extension on the top for a chimney. All right, and this is from a Chimney Mod, and it's set to always smoke, but the chimney does actually work. You can right click it, shift right click it to toggle modes on it. It's in always smoke mode, ever smoke, turned off, but there's a furnace underneath it that can feed it, so that's pretty cool. And so then, you know, we have 2 levels. We have some planters with some trapdoors and stuff like that, and all this is magic blocks along here that create these frame windows. Looks super cool. But let me show you what magic slabs can really do, and what excited me the most about them was, guys, look at the intricate details I was able to get in the tree for a feeling of creating tree limbs and, you know, cut out spots and all that, just to make this tree really come to life and not feel like a bunch of flat blocks stacked. I didn't want solid wood walls and stuff like that. I wanted a, you know, kind of a limb type of feel, just covered in limbs. All right, so that looks awesome. And this is all magic slabs. You can get all of these kind of interesting shapes and details by just playing with them, and it is so much fun to do so. All right, so let's go ahead and go inside. I also have used the magic slabs to create some stairways here, so you get a nice framing feeling up for your stairway here. Just have a little entryway, again, glass for magic slabs glass. It's not a very big house, but I mainly just wanted to get the look of it. So, you know, it's, again, magic slabs, you could do this cool little framing like that. There's a ladder up to the 2nd story and all the way down to the ground. And then I have some stairs here, a little porch lookout for the base. Stairway going up to the next level. See, I could use the magic slabs to create steps, so everything flows smoothly. I worked a lot on how to move between areas. So this is where my bed is. This goes out to the porch area here, so I can look out above. And then these are magic slab leaves, which are really cool. You can do a lot of interesting stuff with that, just framing stuff out. Again, have some vines around. So this goes up into the hearth area where the furnace is. So we have a setup here. Again, magic slabs can create this cool furnace feel. And this is actually the chimney that goes all the way up. So if I turned off the ever smoke mode and ran stuff in the furnace, it would smoke, and only at that time. Some of this is magic slabs leaves. Then we, you know, have an exit out here. So part of these is just the tree that you can move between. Look at different points on the limbs and what have you. And then, like I said, there's ladders going up and down, stairways going up and down here. Go down to here to the 2nd level, and you're able to do the lookout points. You know, everyone has a lookout. Every place has a lookout point for the point of the swamp. You know, you can move, like I said, in between these areas quite easily. Now, lit it pretty well, but mobs are still possible, so we have to be aware of that. Mobs do spawn on leaves in this version. I lit it as much as I could, but I can't put torches on leaves specifically. So there is still some mobs that can come in the tree, so we do need to be aware of that. But guys, I am super happy with how this turned out. I think it looks fantastic. And it's really what I imagine, you know, using ladders for these details, using color contrast with these magic slabs so that it's not just all brown and flat. It's all got kind of a feel to it that gives it some dimension and depth. These are the fancy stone, just at a couple accent places, just to give it some a little bit more visual interest, you know, in these little porchways and what have you. Just really happy with it. A pumpkin here and there just to give it some personality. And then, of course, it molds into the bottom tree down here as well. So I think it looks fantastic, guys. And so this is the fencing along here. Let me show you another thing you can do with the magic slabs that's really cool is you can create these suspension, you know, holding it up. Give it a sense of not floating in space, but being held up by something. And so, guys, this is kind of what I imagined in my mind when I first saw this world. And we have really achieved it in this base. So this base, for the most part, I'll continue to do decorations. I may build like a fishing hut and little stuff along here that's just accent stuff, just for the fun of it. But mainly the main parts of the build for this base are done. So we're actually going to create a new base. Now we're not going to do it in this episode, but we're going to create a base in a snow biome. All right. I've been trying to hunt to get these icy crystals or the frozen V's crystals, and I cannot get them. So we're going to move into a snow biome, and we have some stuff that's really cool. There are snow magic slabs in here. There's not ice ones because you can't really harvest ice by default in this version. They took it out because of exploited water in the nether, and then put it back in 1.3. But with some of the Infinitools, there's a thing called an ice axe, and there's various kinds of them. But you can use an ice axe to get ice, and you can actually build tools with ice that has unique properties, and that's another reason we want to move to ice biome to play with that. Plus, the World Tweaks module here in this Affinitcraft mod allows snow to layer. When it snows, snow will accumulate in layers, which is pretty cool. Okay, so that brings you up to date on the build. Again, guys, couldn't be more happy with how that turned out. That's exactly how I was imagining it in my mind. So pretty happy with that. But I've also gone through and created the Archangel Smite, which works great against wisps. Because it has homing arrows, you know, it just works great against them. And I did also produce the Mercurial Eye, which we can use for building, and I'll demonstrate some of that in a little bit. But I also finished the full power flower. So here's the full power flower, and it's fully active, producing red matter right now. So it'll take about 5 minutes or so to produce a red matter. I did take away the dark matter pedestals and watch the flowing time because they weren't really doing that much, and you know, I just didn't want the lag and stuff from it. But if you don't know, again, I have a complete Project E Let's Play on the channel where I describe all this in very much detail. But basically, a power flower is where you take the condenser here and surround it by relays, and you have to leave an access point open, but all the other sides are surrounded by relays. Then you surround all those relays with collectors, and all this is MK3, the highest versions in equivalent exchange. And so this is the fastest that you can get it, you know, without using dark matter pedestals and stuff, which didn't speed it up that much. I'm not really all that concerned about massive EMC production. I have 46 million right now, and that's pretty good for me. Another thing I did is I took our hallway here, put some of the magic slab glowstone lights in it, some carpet down, and got another room that we're going to use for portals. All right, and so this is going to be for the Thaumcraft portals, one of our portal rooms here at this base. All right, and that's one of the things about the Thaumcraft mod is the portal system is really a key part of it. and we need places to teleport to. So we need to build some remote base locations and stuff like that. So we have places to teleport to. So guys, a lot of progress. Now, for that reason, I want to go ahead and produce the portable transmutation table. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Let me pull some of the items that we'll need out of my inventory here. I do have a transmutation tablet ready to go here, and then let me just check the recipe. So transmutation, we want to get 4 stone, 4 dark matter blocks. Now, dark matter blocks in equivalent exchange aren't like in Project E. Basically, if you put in 4 dark matter, you're going to get 4 dark matter blocks. So it's a lot cheaper, and that makes stuff like the dark matter pedestals and stuff a lot cheaper as well. So here we go, getting the portable one, and it works just the same as the regular one, and just like in Project E, it's like the portable one that you can carry around. So now we can just pull out items as we need, and in between episodes, I'll make a special alchemy bag that has the items in it that we'll want to use and stuff like that so we can get what we need. But you know, if I wanted to go and pull out some cobblestone or whatever, that's actually stone, cobblestone, I could just place it in the center and just pull out what I need, just like in the regular system. So portable is great, and especially as we're going to remote bases and stuff. So we have full access to all of our EMC. All right, guys, so another thing that we want to do in this episode is we want to produce the Veida Tector. All right, that's an important Thaumcraft tool. All right, and so to do that, we're going to want to produce some of the tinkering tools. All right, and I already have one that we're going to use in our setup. You can see the recipe here. Basically, it's 4 of the stone tools and a V crystal. So let's grab that real quick. 4 of the stone tools and a V crystal. What am I getting? I'm getting the V crystal. Grab that real quick out of here. I've got quite a few of them now, and I did find out that I could duplicate some of this stuff. So I've gone through and duplicated like some of the fiery crystals, verdant crystals, a few of the electrified. Already had a bunch of those. I can't do heartwood or any of those. I can actually duplicate the solid V, but it really uses more V than it can. And I can duplicate these crystals, all right? Can't do the nodes or anything like that, so I've been experimenting along with that. But I just don't have any of the icy crystals at all, so that's kind of a problem. Let's see now. Let's go ahead and produce our cobblestone tools that we'll need. So here's a stone axe, a stone hoe, a stone pickaxe, and then a shovel, wherever that may be. Oh, that's a hoe. That's all right. I just made an extra hoe into the project table, and a shovel. Okay, so yeah, let me put that hoe up. Learn it. Whatever. Doesn't matter. All right, so get that guy put up, and this should give us what we need to get the tinkering tools made. So let's grab those right there. Okay, and now from that we need to add a compass to the recipe and infuse that. So if you infuse that along with the compass, then you will get the new tool, the Veida Tector. So let's see, did I grab the compass? Yeah, it's right here. Okay, so we'll just run that here into the infuser. So tinkering tools at the bottom and the compass at the top. And it will draw V from here. And we may need a little bit more. I do have lots of the solidified V here, so not a problem at all. But nope, that got it produced. And so that gives us the new item, the Veida Tector. Very cool, very cool. So let me read about this. I actually added it to my book so that we can go over what it does. Let's go to the last pages. It's right here. Okay, so the Veida Tector, you need the arcane tinkering tools and a compass. When placed on your hotbar, this item alerts you when you are within a locale with higher than normal magical radiation. Okay, so good vibes. Right-clicking on a Thaumcraft object with the detector reveals if it contains V, how much it contains, and how full it is. While you have the Veida Tector in your inventory, it will also alert you if it detects strange magical objects or structures in the distance. Okay, so this only occurs when the chunks containing those features are generated. So chunks that are already generated, you won't get it, but when you're loading new chunks, it'll tell you if it has the altars and stuff like that it finds, which is cool. Otherwise, it'll alert you if you're in one of the chunks that are active, which, guys, the secret is it's slime chunks. When you're in slime chunks, it'll tell you, okay? And the other thing is that you can use it to test the amount of V that you have in something and the amount of V that something, an item produces, which is cool. So if I look in this, I can see there's 5 V, all right, in there. So if I add a cobblestone to it, let's go do this, just add a cobblestone, see how much that's worth. So it didn't produce anything. So it'll take it. So see, that's interesting, look. But it produced nothing from it, or not even a noticeable amount. So let's get a piece of obsidian and look at that. Don't have any in my inventory, but let's look. I have some in here. Let's look at a piece of obsidian. So see, cobblestone may not produce any amount that's, you know, significant enough, although it'll burn it. So that's a thing. So 30 V. So it produces 25 V. We had 5, now we have 30. So 25. That's a pretty good amount. And so that got us up to 6%. So we could use that to determine how much, you know, things produce, what items are best for it, and all that kind of stuff. But generally, I think it's accepted between, you know, some of the tutorials I've watched that obsidian is one of the best ones to use that's available. All right. So also in this episode, guys, we are going to finish out our farm that we have. We're going to expand the automation on it, the farm that we were doing in the last episode, and potentially build a new version of a farm. Okay, so I have the items that were needed, a bunch of different symbols and runes, and then some of the automation items that are needed. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, and then we'll go over and look at a location for the new base and see how to proceed from there. So we have the farm that we did down here, and it works great to gather watermelons, right? To gather melons, but we don't really care about having melons. We would rather produce V from that. So you can see I've added water along here on each side, and I've got levers. You can toggle each one of these symbols on and off with levers. So if you're not going to use them, it's a good idea to toggle them off so it's not searching for crops, you know, to hydrate and bone meal and pull items to you and stuff like that. All right, so we're going to get rid of this chest. We don't need this right now anymore, and we're going to go ahead and move this. So let me get my better pickaxe here. I'll just use this guy, and we will farm this obsidian. Does it pretty fast with this pickaxe. Okay, I don't know if I got my diamond rune back. Check that. Yeah, I did. Okay, you can see I have a water source under here, so everything's being hydrated. But basically, we want to push this guy. Let's see now. Let me think about this for a moment, because we want to be sure that the symbol can pull the item. So the symbol needs to be at this location. So let me just actually get a couple pieces of obsidian. I'm using obsidian just in case, you know, creepers come and explode it. It's not as likely to destroy the symbol if it's protected by obsidian. It'll probably get knocked off maybe, I don't know, but it's not as likely to be destroyed. So let's place a couple pieces of obsidian, yeah, because we need it to be suspended above. All right, and we shall place our cauldron, all right, or our crucible. Yeah, let's start to get out some of our items. Here, I'm going to put up that pickaxe now. I don't need it. And it'll immediately be repaired in the bag. The melons we'll put in. I should probably work with this. I'll put the V detector up for a second just so we have more inventory space. And the lever. Okay, so let's get the crucible and an infuser. All right, so we're going to actually pull the items now into a crucible rather than into a chest. So let's put the crucible here. We lose one farming spot, but that's not a big deal. Now we can place the iron symbol back down, and it doesn't need the diamond rune because it's not going into a chest. and it'll just pull whatever within 7 blocks around here in this area into itself, toward itself, which will go into the Crucible. So that works well. But we also want to infuse that. All right, so we want to take the V that's produced, and it'll actually fill up pretty quick doing that. Let me go ahead and re-enable the farm, and we can see the production rates and stuff. Get everything going. I'll need to feed it those melons that we have just to get it started. And you actually want it to be kind of full so that you have some buffer overflow. And I'll show you this circuit that I've come up with to handle that. But yeah, you can see it immediately starts to harvest bone meal and pulls the melons toward itself where they get. Now some will, go off to the side or whatever. We could actually put further blocks to help prevent that along here. And so that'll work well, except this guy will fill up really fast, or pretty fast, given. So what we want to do is we want to use the infuser to infuse. All right, now I can put the infuser there and put a conduit into it. Let's do that. Let's get a V conduit. All right, and go inside of it here. I could put it beside it. Again, we lose a farmland spot. Not that big of a deal. But it seems like there's a buffering involved. And I'll show you what at least I figured out so far about it. All right. So let me get the rest of those melons in there. And you can see it's pretty close to being filled. Now, we're not using a redstone one, so if it overflows, that is a problem. So let's go ahead and get our tinkering tools and stuff in there and get this guy producing quickly. Okay, so we need our tinkering tools and we need some glass. And again, that's going to produce the solidified V. All right, so get that in there. And then that'll start pulling V in, right? Now, we don't want to let it get too far down because we want to buffer. All right, so we're going to use a couple of items from Red Power. We're going to use a timer and we're going to use a toggle latch. All right. The toggle latch is an automated lever, essentially, all right? And so we're going to turn this guy off every 30 seconds and keep it off. So there'll be 2 cycles, all right? So let's change this to 30 seconds. All right. So, and it can start on, that's fine. Let's use our V detector now to watch the V levels. Okay, so it pulled all the V out of that. So we may want to shorten the cycle. You kind of have to determine. But based on my test, 30 seconds was not bad. We just need to get the level fairly high. So there was 4, that was 20. I'm going to put one more. So it's in its off cycle now. So V is being produced, gathering up the buffer. There we go. See, now that's a high level. Let's check it with the detector. Yeah, so we're 68% full. I'm going to put a little bit more in there. Just want to get that ratio just right. Sun's starting to go down. And then it'll be self-running. So we don't want it to, we want it to have a little bit more V than it can use up in 30 seconds. And then we're assuming that it will, see, it's already produced 3 of the solidified V to do that. Now I could actually probably make a circuit that would pump a solidified V back into there, but that's at a 10% loss, so it's kind of not worth it. But see, that worked. It ran its cycle, it kept a certain amount of V inside of it. Yeah, 44%. So see, that's a good ratio. Now it's refilling, rebuffering, and so we should be in good shape. Let me go and sleep real quick, guys, just to keep the mobs off of us, so we don't have to be concerned about that. I'm not scared of them at all, but they do get annoying. So you can hear the V detector is beeping and pulsing right now. Not sure why it did at that moment, but it's telling us we're in a magical chunk, a slime chunk right there. So right where we are, and it should as well over here. It should along this structure. See, that's one, and then it should, I believe, down here as well. Let's run down here real quick, because these grow in the magical structures, the slime chunks as well. So got nice markers throughout the world letting you know. All right, guys, so that should get that automation set up pretty well. So we're going to go ahead and do another little farm here. Just in the time remaining. So let me grab this guy here, clean this out. And we're going to put down another one of the earth runes. So let's get our obsidian. I hear stuff walking around. See any mobs? Okay, and we'll put down an earth symbol. Okay, and remember the earth symbol tills ground, right? Well, we don't want it to do that in this case. We want there to be stone, because it will also passively convert stone into moss stone. So this is the Mercurial Eye from Equivalent Exchange. You can open its inventory by hitting C. You need to have a Klein star inside of it to provide energy, and then the block that you want to target. Okay, and then with the G key you can switch the modes. So there's extension mode, creation mode. We'll go over each one of those. We want it to be in transmutation mode. Okay, and then I can use the charge key, which is V, and charge it up of how much of an area I want to do. So I'm not going to do that much. Let's go down a little bit, and Shift V will take it down. So now see, I'm converting this block of space, the grass or whatever item I click on, to cobble. So let's put down the earth symbol. I have right here. Oh, that's the verdant. All right, we'll need all these anyway for this setup. Okay, so let's put down the earth symbol. All right, and much like it does converts to farmland, it will slowly over time convert these to moss stone. All right, and moss stone looks pretty cool in this pack. Walking around. But what we want to do is we want to use this along with a deployer, okay, from project or from Red Power to do wheat. All right, now nothing in Thaumcraft replants, or nothing in the automation replants. The deployer can replant. All right, so I could use it as an item that we'll be able to replant. All right, so if I add a gold rune to this one, then it will harvest the crops. Or actually a diamond rune to this one, then it will harvest the crops. Okay, so that's the system we have over there. So we'll basically be doing the same system as we have here. All right, with the verdant rune, that's gold to speed it up for bone meal. And we won't be doing this rune, but we'll do the iron with the diamond on it for a chest. Okay, so basically we want our chest, should have some, be right here. Okay, and then we want an iron rune with a diamond on it. I used up my obsidian. I'll replace it back with obsidian once we're done. Of course, I get it out of the table too. Let's see, let's get our iron rune with a diamond. I might as well get out all the runes. Right. Okay, get that. So here's our iron rune. Right, that guy will go here. And then we'll put a diamond inside of it so that it can put items in that chest. All right, So it'll pull items and put them in the chest. And then we want a piece of farmland here. And it's best to give it a little bit of water. So I'm just going to put some water down inside of there. So put some water underneath there. And then I'll refill the bucket later. But basically I need to put a piece of cobble back down. Or actually farmland. So we'll put dirt down here. Okay, and this guy should till that dirt. Okay. Then we want a verdant symbol. Doesn't really matter where it is. I'll put it right next to it here. Again, I'll get obsidian, more obsidian. Okay, so you can see it tilled it right there. So put that there. The verdant symbol is the one that's applying the bone meal effect. So we'll put it on there, and then we'll use a gold rune to speed it up. So it's faster, and it requires V to do so. Okay. Now what we want to do is put a seeing eye symbol, right, which is a redstone trigger. I think that'll be fine. Actually, I really want it right next to it. So I'm going to scoot all this over by one. Yeah. I could have left one of the chests. That's fine. I'm going to scoot all this over by one. So, all right. Now, we're going to put a seeing eye symbol here. All right. And it detects everything right now. All right. Every type of thing. So we're going to use a flint rune. So it only detects items. So now when there's a floating item, it will detect that. All right. So the idea is that the wheat, it should be fine, will be right there and it'll be harvested. Actually, I want to give it a little bit of distance. I can't get it right up next to there. We should probably be fine. Let's give it a test. I need to get some seeds. I'm going to sleep real quick. And it will need V as well. I'll just make a portable node just to get that guy going. Harvest these, you just get a regular node. Okay. And when you combine that in a crafting table with one of these solidified V, then you'll get the portable V. All right. Now this guy will actually feed that over there as well. It'll do it within 20 blocks, but hopefully we won't need that. All right. So this guy should be ready. You can see it's sending here to the diamond rune. You get a little particle effect that's showing where, as you see, it's going over there. So it's going to use it up kind of quick. But let's see how this system will work for us. You can see the moss stone is going now because it's receiving V to do that, to do the conversion. The plant should get a bone meal effect from the verdant here. Let's see how that goes. Won't be super fast. All right, yeah, it is. It is sped up by the gold rune, so it kind of just varies. And of course, this stuff is only active during the day. But look at the moss stone. The moss stone's got a really cool pattern in here. This is the first moss stone we've gotten. I haven't found a dungeon. Just found some spawners, but I haven't found a dungeon. So let's get this to grow. Grow for me, guy. And then I'll get out one more item that we're going to use, which is the deployer. Okay, and that's from Red Power as well. The deployer will allow us to replant. That's why we're just doing this one single piece of wheat. It is a little bit of waste of V in the harvesting part of it, because it can harvest more. This guy is just eating it up. There we go. See, that's what we want. This is shut off. There's enough of a buffer for it to run. That's what we want. All right, so this got harvested or grown. Now it should be harvested. The earth symbol with the diamond will harvest. Oh, there you go. Okay, so it harvested and it'll trigger the seeing eye. All right, see, because the problem is you can't replant. So we're going to use this deployer from Red Power, where this will provide a redstone signal. I'll just give it 3 seeds right now. I can give it I'll just use a lever, I guess. I think I have a lever in the bag. Just to get it started, I can make a button. But let's, yeah. So that'll plant now. And so once this guy's harvested, the idea is that it sees the seed entities before they get pulled into the chest, which this got harvested and pulled into the chest, and will trigger the deployer to replant. All right. Now, one more thing that we can do based on our speed, okay, because sometimes it can miss, is we can set this guy on a timer for every minute for it to, no, don't hit it with, cannot get red power stuff. Well, that's not red power, but with the Infiniblocks tools. So see, if I set this guy to 1 minute, then it will for sure, even if this seeing eye doesn't replant when it grows, all right, because it didn't see the seed for some reason, then every minute this will for sure replant. All right, so that's getting bone mealed. Yeah, see, it triggered that time. So if the items go up, you know, it triggers most of the time. Let's put it that way. In my testing, the floating entity is enough. You know, they get thrown in a random direction by Minecraft, and then this guy pulls it, that unless it just like throws it right inside of there, which hardly ever happens, this will get triggered. And regardless of if it does, we have this buffer here into the background. So I could extend this out to be, you know, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Looks like we're keeping up over here pretty well now. So guys, these are unique little systems that you can do with Thaumcraft. Been tons of fun, like looking into that. In the future, we're going to do some mob farms and stuff like that as well. But I'm super happy with the state of the base right now. Like I said, I pretty much feel like that most of the things I wanted to complete and accomplish, besides just little decorative projects and stuff like that, I've accomplished here. So we're going to move into a new base as well. Just to expand out, not this snow, it's back over here this way. So I've picked a location, and we'll start to look at that into the next episode. Anyway, guys, this is Scott O'Mato. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, this system's working out pretty well now. Just saw the melons get harvested and pulled. I see that they can get caught on these blocks, the Infiniblocks, a little bit. That might be an issue. This guy seems to be working well. So we have 2 little automated farms. This one to give us food for wheat. Yeah, got 4 wheat from there. And this one to give us even more V, which at this point we don't really need, but we got it going on. Anyway, this is Scott O'Mato. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.